new home for great gospel music, playing a nice blend of Southern gospel, bluegrass gospel, and country gospel. WSGI AM 1100, Springfield, God's Informer.
One street over there's a life I could have known, one beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Time gone by, I've traded black dirt into clay. I thought my memories would end. One street over's now 1,000 miles away. When I close my eyes, I'm back to where I've been. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today.
Let's get into it. This is 1100 WSG. I'm U-Turn LaVern, and yeah, this is one street over. What you doing, y'all? One street over from where you living. Do you know what your neighbors are doing? Do you know what's happening around the corner? Do you know what's happening in your county? Well, that's the goal of what we're doing right here. Trent Cobb's in the house. I've missed you, brother. Good land. It's been forever since I have talked to you. Pull that microphone in front of you instead of
It has been a while.
I know. Well, we've not, usually I call, and you can call me if you've got something going on, because you tell people what you do in your day job.
My day job, I am the codes official and for Robertson County.
So if you ever have anything that you think we need to know that's job related, and you're like, hey, it'd be good if we got this out to everybody, if there's some kind of a change or something, just call me and we'll get you in here. I tend to look to you. Everything fairgrounds.
Yes.
And,
And we have a pretty full summer leading right up till the fair. This weekend they got the King of the Crawfish.
I know.
And our new pastor, Brother Tony Thibodeau, is pretty excited about that, because he's a full blown Cajun is what he is. So
well, and this is like a preliminary for the big contest. I mean, this is like certified.
Yeah.
This is one of them. This is their last chance to qualify for like the Super Bowl of crawfish competitions, right? Is that my understanding?
That's my understanding too. Yeah. Like I say, they rent the grounds from us, and like I say, I thought, when I first seen it, I thought, this, I don't know about this, but it's a big deal. Yeah, it is a real big deal.
It is a big deal. And I'm not a crawfish person, but you don't have to be. They have other things.
They got any kind.
All kinds of stuff.
Any kind of thing showing up. So,
but it's a fundraiser for the Sports Alliance, and just a great program that helps get our kids involved in sports, and they're working to try to build a daycare facility and just all kinds of things. I wish I'd gotten Tiffany in here this week too to talk about that, or Pierre, but we'll let you do it and remind them that it is Crawfish Weekend and
it's
King of the
Crawfish
Craw's happening
Weekend
on
and-
Saturday. So get your tickets. Get your tickets.
Get your tickets, show up. I mean, don't complain that it's like $25-$30. It's for a good cause, and
Yeah.
you get more than enough to eat.
Absolutely.
More than enough. So
Absolutely. So that's this weekend. Do you have a time on that?
I do not have
I'll
the time
look it
in
up.
front of me.
I'll look it up.
So,
But we do have that this weekend, and so just keep going. I'm just gonna because we got
Okay.
a lot to cover. Brian may be in here at 7:30. I messaged him, but I haven't. Brian Pulley with United Way. Haven't talked to him in a couple of weeks because we've been having other. I mean, we've been just busy. There's so many things we've been covering on the show. Man, we appreciate you guys reaching out because that's what this is all about. But go ahead and keep
okay,
going.
and then on June the 12th and the 13th is the barbecue throwdown.
Yeah, that's another
And
one that's certified. Isn't that a certified
Yeah, it's a
competition?
KCBS ran contest, and I wished I'd have done a little more research because Perry Pratt, he's in charge of this. They have what they call the Tennessee trifecta, and there's 3 different contests in Middle Tennessee, and we're one of them. And if you win in all 3 of those, then you get extra prize money. So
It's kind of like the Triple Crown
yeah,
kind of thing.
that's basically
for barbecue.
yeah, the Triple Crown for barbecue. I like that. Triple Crown for barbecue is what it is. So.
Being from Kentucky, I always heard Triple Crown. We
Yeah.
did a lot of talk. So anyway,
So, but yeah, we got that in June. Now, right after the not this coming weekend, but next weekend, the farmers market opens.
oh yeah.
So they've got several new vendors.
Mm-hmm.
And with this election cycle, which I'm glad it's over, but
Sorta.
yeah, sorta, it's sorta over, but everybody tensions got a little high. I just want to say this because where I work at the county building during early voting though, you would see all 3 of the mayoral candidates, standing up on the corner, laughing, talking to each other.
Yes.
I mean, it was more the people on the outside circle that was causing that.
Completely, because they're all wonderful men.
Yeah.
But I just absolutely the people that supported them that got a little testy.
They sure did.
But I'm just glad we're past that, and because there's no opponent in the general. We know that that
Keith will be
our next county mayor, and looking forward to getting to know him. So and Bill Jones became county commissioner.
Yes,
I'm so
yes, he
excited
did.
for Bill.
Yes, he is.
My brother.
And your neighbor right here.
Well, he's my commissioner. He's my county commissioner.
Well, he's mine too. So
Yeah,
he'll be mine. So
and of course Gina too as well. But I'm super tickled for Bill. That's congratulations, brother.
Yep.
I
So-
digress. We had to get off. And the crawfish it starts at 4 Saturday.
Okay.
4 p.m. on Saturday.
All right. Yeah, we go down so many different rabbit holes. So
Chase those rabbits, Trent. Come on.
Anyway, so farmers market is happening. The fair. Now, this is the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
The fair this year, there's going to be one big notable change.
Okay.
It starts on September the 22nd and runs through the 26th.
Okay.
But rides will not open. The fair rides will not open until the 23rd. The carnival, they have a conflict, and due to safety reasons, they cannot get here set up and inspected and ready to go by that Tuesday.
Okay.
So what we're doing, we're kind of backing up just a little bit, and we hope it goes well. We're trying to get it out there as much as we can. The gates will still open on Tuesday night, but there is no admission fee.
Okay. So you just
So the dairy show will be going on.
Okay.
The white building will be open for all of its vendors.
Oh, that's awesome.
The red building will be open. We're trying to kind of bill it as like a senior night.
Okay.
For the ones that don't care about the rides,
Right.
and don't care about running through the midway. The ones that just want to come see the booths that are set up and who won what and the old, what the county fair started out as.
Sure. Exactly.
You know, so
it's a throwback.
yeah. So we're kind of building a senior night, but it's open to anybody.
Well, in the past, y'all have a senior night that you do open it up, right?
Yeah. Well, we did that in conjunction with the Century Farm Dinner.
Okay.
So, and we opened it up that way. You know, now senior citizens, they could get in Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday if they brought a toy or a gift or something like that.
Remember now.
But since we're doing this senior night, I don't think we're doing a
toy drive kind of thing.
Yeah.
You just got an open night. Anybody can come in.
Yeah, anybody.
Tuesday night, kind of get an idea for what it's going to do. And they'll be setting the rides up.
Yes,
So
they'll
you'll
be setting
see
the
what's
rides up.
coming and kind of get an idea for where the midway is going to be laid out and all that, right?
Yes,
Okay.
and we're working on a couple of things. You know, the parade will still happen on Tuesday.
Okay.
So after the parade, you know, we're not going to say, no, y'all all got to go home. It's like y'all come across the road.
Yeah.
And you'll get in. You'll get to, like you say, walk through and hopefully spend more time in the booths. Since there won't be any rides, we're really encouraging people to come in and look at the 4-H booths and look at the flower shows and the baked goods and the canning goods and photos and definitely visit the booths down in the White Building, our commercial booths, because these are people in the community, you know, that have businesses that rent a spot to showcase, you know, their business. And we really try to steer people to that, you know, just to walk through. I mean, it's a lot of fun stuff going on down and around there. And like I say, a couple of things, and like I say, this is not set in stone, and Hunter and a few of the others, they're going to start yelling at me, but I'm hoping, you know, like I say, we should have hopefully the petting zoo set up.
Oh, fun.
And it'll be to where, you know, kids can get to it, and we're even kicking around the idea of a Lego contest down there. And
that would be fun.
This past year when we went to the convention, we sat in one group, you know, because they have these breakout sessions to where you go and learn new ideas. And this one session we went to, what it was is we was sitting at a table and you had a tub in front of you, an empty tub, and up in front they had these great big huge tubs of Legos. You had a set amount of time. You go up there, you scoop out Legos, and it's got all the different pieces, and they'll give you a theme, and you have to build that, you know, in 15 or 20 minutes, and whoever assembles the best one, you know, wins.
What they get. So it's kind of the luck of the dip on what you get with your Legos. That's fun.
Yeah. So
I think that'd be exciting.
I think so too, because I have three grandchildren now. Grady, he is 7 months old.
Oh,
congratulations. But then, you know, I've got Natalie and Hallie, and they love Legos.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, they'll just sit down there and just play with them. And I thought Legos were kind of dying down, but you get to look, and you get to look at online, there's competitions, there's everything. So we're hoping to put something like that together. You know, like I say, we've got a little bit of time, but this is already May.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
I mean,
true. And it will be here before you. I mean, just blink.
Yes.
We'll be back. I mean, we're getting ready for summer, and you know, I'm in a hot mess because I'm a teacher, and we're at the end of the year, and we're just like going in 1,000 different directions. But before you know it, we're going to be getting ready for back to school.
Yeah. So
let me ask you about something about the schedule while I'm thinking about it. So, with the Tuesday night thing being what it is, do you already have a praise and worship night? Are
yes.
you doing the Wednesday night? Because I was going to say you could let some praise and worship bands come out and play on Tuesday.
Well, we have our faith night is actually Wednesday night.
Right.
And we are actually moving it from underneath the Century stage. We're gambling on weather and everything else, but we're moving it to the arena.
Okay.
Because it has gotten so big that it's basically outgrown the Century Stage area.
I get that.
So we're moving that, but Yeah, that would be another thing. We have kind of kicked that around, but the problem we have is with them setting the rides up, you can't really go up in the midway and over to.
I get that.
You know, so everything will happen either in the red building or the white building or in the underneath the stage and the cattle show, and the cattle show. We're hoping, because here again, I'm telling stuff that may or may not happen. We're looking to build a new stage facility behind the red building, kind of like how we had it set up last year with the food court and the stage area. We're building a more permanent structure up there, and then the cattle show arena will move underneath the Century stage.
Okay.
Because where the arena is now for the cattle show, it gets extremely crowded in there for people wanting to watch.
So now, where are you talking about putting the stage? Maybe again, or
okay, if you come in the lower lot of the fairgrounds and you circle around behind the red building, you start coming up the hill, up the asphalt towards the concession stand. On the left-hand side, right behind the backside of the red building, we'll have a stage area set up. And in that grassy area, we did this last year, we positioned all the food trucks and had the picnic tables, and people loved that.
It was wonderful. It was like a little food court.
Yeah,
it was fabulous.
It was a food court with live entertainment.
Awesome.
So
I loved it.
Tommy is going to move his bigger bands that he has on the Century stage up there.
Yeah.
So
well, it just gets more exposure, because a lot of times things that are going on over in the Century, people don't even realize it's happening.
Yeah.
And there's I've sat there and watched some amazing shows.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Well, on Tuesday night, what if y'all had like an open mic night or something?
Like I say, this is just
It's an idea, because you could do that on your stage there that would stay out of the way of the midway.
Yeah.
Just something to, draw people in and get them out there.
Yeah.
And, because and that could be spirit filled, that could be country, that could be a little bit of everything. Or you might even say, let's do an open mic praise and worship kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
'Cause there's so many good praise and worship bands across the county.
There is.
So many.
And like I say, this is kind of, we knew it was happening. They let us know at the convention, this is what.
Right.
So we've been, like you say, brainstorming, trying to figure out, because this is something we've never done before.
Right.
Right. And the main thing is getting the word out that the rides will not be open on Tuesday night.
I will pound it. And I'll put it on. I'll let Lee Marie know, and she'll tell everybody.
Yeah, I know.
And all you got to do is give Lee Marie something, and she'll spread the word.
Yeah,
anyway.
and you have to keep it in front of them. You just have to get it out early, because, families will show up going to the parade, and they'll have their kids all excited to ride rides, and then we're they're going to tar and feather us and run us out of town.
Well, and so we need to get it in the paper. We need to just everybody,
everywhere,
every newsletter you've got, every hip thing, every hip Springfield, hip county thing. Put it out there, y'all. Do it now. Put it out there right now, because if you don't, it'll get close and you'll forget. But if we start putting it out there on all of our hip sites, and I'm talking about all the social media things, just really, really, really spread the word, y'all. No rides on the opening night of the fair, and it's just because of timing, but that means you can come for free and check out all. I think it's great. I think it'll be perfect, but like you said, just got to get the word out.
Got to get the word out, and like I say, it'll be the one night that it was like the early county fairs. That's what they all started. Yeah. It wasn't about the rides and the shows. It was about who had the best, Well,
I think and just do it like a throwback fair, that it's open to the public. Everybody come in. You can all see it. This is a chance for you to come and see all the events without having to pay the gate. And they're still setting up rides. I think, I'm glad you came in today, so we can start getting the word out on this and just really pound it hard. But we need it in the paper. We need it on staypositive.news. We need it on all the social medias. Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
Chambers of Commerce, all the ones. Let's spread the word.
That's exactly right. So, So it'll be, we won't have anything in the arena on Tuesday night because we can't physically get up in there safely. So Wednesday night is praise and worship. We're thinking go-kart races on Thursday night.
Okay.
Motocross again on Friday night, and obviously the demo derby.
Got to have the demolition derby.
Yes, I mean,
it would have a fit if you didn't have the demolition derby.
Yes, that's exactly right. So, and we're working with a couple of other groups that have derbies, and like I say, it's a sport now. I mean, it's not just build an old car in your backyard and go. I mean, these guys are serious. There is, pretty good money, serious money in some of these shows. And like I say, you have no idea what kind of money they have tied up in the motors and the transmissions and the drivetrains. Yeah, they'll take that and put it in a car, and run it till they can't run that one anymore. And then they'll take that and build another one, So I mean, it's
these car guys. There's Caleb Stratton tells me about that podcast they've got called Bubba About Broke. But that's more about racing. But I think anytime I think about these car guys that do this, it's Bubba About Broke.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So,
it's cute.
Anyway, that's the big major change of the fair that we can't stress enough. So,
well, we will help you pound the drum for it. I'm tickled that it's in September. Later, when it's cooler, and the barns will be smoking by then. It's just that fall feeling.
Yeah,
so that just makes it better than August. August is hot.
Yeah,
September can be too, but it just feels more like
that's it because we had it so early that there was no tobacco to judge.
Yeah, exactly.
Now the catch-22 on that end, there was a lot more garden produce.
Yeah.
To judge. So later in September, you have your pumpkins and stuff like that. The fall season stuff, but there's
but no squash.
No squash, cucumbers. They're pretty much played out there. They've gotten big, and you cut them off for the chickens to eat and everything else. So.
Well, I tell you, and Brian Pulley is coming in, so we gotta get right to it. And I'll have you back in just as soon as I've got a full hour for us to unpack it again.
We need an hour.
We need an hour, and we just didn't have it. And I knew we needed to get you in just ASAP. But we'll here in the next couple of weeks, we'll come in and just kind of recap all this and do it again. But so that's the fair, and give the dates on it again. It's September
22nd through the 26th.
Okay, so put that on your calendar. But 22nd, no rides. It's free. After the parade, you go in, you can see what's coming, all the things, and just be paying attention. But there's no rides on the 22nd, so we got to get that word out. So what else have you got coming up? We got crawfish. We've got the barbecue coming up next weekend. What about tractor pull? Have you got
tractor pull will be Labor Day weekend.
That's what I figured. Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be Labor Day weekend, and like I say, that's another event that's it's almost outgrown the fairgrounds, but we have been lucky enough that since this new development is coming in behind us, Lennar Homes, which they have completely changed that hillside. If you've been through up Blackwood Drive, it's completely different. But they needed a sewer easement, and we had the sewer line comes on our property. So their most feasible route was to come down the backside of our property and tie in, and in doing that, we did some swapping around, and we gained behind the fairgrounds another 2.5 acres.
Oh, that's great.
And then across the road from the DMV on 41, we gained that parking lot area, that grassy area on 41. It's almost 2.5 acres there. So we're going to be running new fencing and stuff like that, and we're talking, people think that the fair, is just raking money in and left and right, but we're nonprofit. Everything that we make goes back into putting the buildings and improving the ground. So, we've got $20-something thousand worth of fencing to do.
Oh, wow.
Just to fix the back lot. And basically all it's going to be for is for the living quarters for the for the carnival.
Okay.
And
But still, what a wonderful addition. That's just going to help spread it out a bit.
yeah.
So
So that's what we're hoping is, the carnival living quarters goes in there. That opens up more ground, which could potentially open up, more rides.
Oh, good.
Have room for more rides and stuff like
absolutely.
that. So,
For sure.
but like I say, everything that happens down there, we're upgrading the electrical throughout the grounds, and it seems like every time we turn around, we're spending $20,000 for that. Well. It
It's
don't take
constant,
long.
guys. Yeah, it doesn't take long to go through it. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so anyway, I'm trying to read some of these notes here. Also, too, we've got the Recovery Fest coming up.
Yes.
I want to mention that. That's on August 22nd from 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. So
Yes.
that's coming up.
Yes.
So we got that. But you
And-
go through your calendar and hit the other day.
Well, and I'm
kind of take a look here and
like
see
I
if I
say,
missed
my
anything.
calendar. I'm trying to look at it, but I tell you what, my eyes are getting very, very old.
I hear you, brother.
and
I hear you.
and so like I say, the tractor pull is Saturday, September the 5th,
Okay.
and then we have. This is in August. Oh, Fairs to the Fair this year.
Okay.
Now it is happening really early.
Okay.
It is actually August the 29th is when the Fairs to the Fair
Okay.
starts. So but it is going to be indoors, air conditioned, so it won't be 100 degrees sitting out there, and the beautiful young ladies that are in that contest
Yes.
will have air conditioning to get ready, because when we've had it at the Century Stage in August before, I mean,
They melt.
They melt. They do, and so.
And all of the things that they put on melt, all the
Yes.
makeups and stuff. Yeah,
Yes,
it's hard.
And,
Yeah.
and I was looking. I know my father's house. They normally have a car show.
That is happening the same weekend as Kilgore.
Yes,
And that's
yes.
the 15th and the 16th. And so that's coming up April 15th or April 16th.
Yes,
And guys, you can go to both of them. You can go to, because
Yeah.
we're going to have Kilgore Festival in here. Barry Richards is bringing some folks in tomorrow. Even though it's Faith Friday, we'll play some gospel music, some bluegrass gospel. But because Jack Martin is, not well enough to come in, he normally comes in on the second Friday. But so we're going to bring in, we'll play some gospel with Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival, but that is on the 15th and the 16th. But on the 16th is the My Father's House car show and all of that. But you can go to all these things, guys. You can just hit them all.
Yeah, there's so many things happening in Robertson County. I mean,
Yes.
the rodeo is July the 24th and 25th. Dennis's rodeo,
Right.
and
I gotta get them in. They're so much fun to have on radio.
They,
Oh my
they,
gosh.
they really are, and it's he's been doing that rodeo
Forever.
forever. Yeah, forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we're talking. It's one of the longest running things we have.
Oh, yeah.
Every year at the fair.
Okay.
I mean, at the fairgrounds. So, and he does a wonderful job. He's a local
very
boy,
professional. Yeah.
very professional. He'll tell you when he was when he was young and first in the bull riding and won all of his championships. He'd come back to town, thinking, well, I'm Dennis Marsh. And then it finally dawned on him one day. He said, I'm Dennis Marsh. That's it. I'm just Dennis Marsh. I'm the same guy. And he is just so humble, and it's just it's fun. That's a fun event. Freedom Fest, this year, July the 3rd. It's like I say, and that's free.
Right.
You come in, you get to ride the rides, play on the bounce houses, listen to the music, walk around to the different
Great
booths.
event.
The only thing they
Huge
ask you,
event.
the only thing they ask you to do is bring money to buy food.
There you go. And
Yeah.
we'll get Terry and Ryan in. We'll get the guys in to talk
Yeah.
about that. I haven't reached out to Terry just yet, but I'll get him in to come and talk about that. And Ryan will be in. I don't know if it's next week or the next, but he'll come in after the mayor and alderman meeting, and he'll give us all the particulars on that, because we're going to be on top of that before you blink as well.
Yes, we're already having meetings for the Freedom Fest, So, but like I say, they do a good job, and people think, a lot of times, the local governments, they take beatings and bashing and all that, but you look at the park systems that we have in Robertson County, and Springfield, and Ridgetop, they have a real nice
beautiful
park now. Cross Plains, they're just Greenbrier. Everybody is getting a nice park system. So there's plenty of things to do in Robertson County that is free.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my soapbox for the morning. I will throw out there real quick. I'm going to do a Bethlehem post.
Okay, yeah.
Like I say, our vacation Bible school is, actually, this is our promo. We're going to be at the First Friday Night Market in June. Setting up, handing out flyers and stuff for our vacation Bible school. We're going to be at Freedom Fest. We do our fall festivals. That'll be coming up in October.
Okay.
So anyway, Tracy Dever, she wanted to make sure that I got that out there, the different things that Bethlehem is doing too.
It's so funny. Tracy sent me a text, and I haven't even had a chance to even open it, because she has her Rob Co. retreat.
And it's
just the coolest thing ever. And Tracy, I'll reach out to you and we'll get you in, and she can kind of go over all that stuff too for Bethlehem.
Yes, it's not just an event center. It's an event center that you can come and spend the weekend. They
wonderful.
have,
it's just cool.
They have the facilities, for pretty decent sized groups to spend the night, spend the weekend.
Yeah.
It's a really nice retreat.
It really is. And so, Tracy, I didn't open your text because I was afraid if I opened it, then I'd forget to follow up with you, because I hadn't had a chance to, because I've been so busy with the seniors or sick. Because if you're a high school parent, the seniors, they're done this week. A lot of them were done yesterday, and if they were exam exempt, and then the rest of them will be done tomorrow, and they have their senior walks and all their things. And so, as teachers, as high school teachers, trying to make that transition to get the seniors on their way and then settle in and finish finals with the underclassmen or the rising, 10th and 12th graders, this is a lot. And then we're still finishing testing too. So it's been just like, woo, crazy.
Yeah.
But so I will get back in touch with you, Tracy. But I did see Brian come in. Anything just urgent we need to cover, and I'll get you back in here in a couple of weeks, and we'll just do an hour.
Not really urgent.
Yeah.
Urgent, like I say, the main thing is come out to the King of the Crawl this weekend, but you just keep stressing the point that the fair is opening September the 22nd to the 26th, but rides will open the 23rd.
Okay.
I mean,
we're gonna make sure people get that word. We
yeah.
just don't want any child to show up there thinking they're gonna ride rides on the 22nd and they're not open yet.
That's exactly right.
So we'll get the word out, brother.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you. Good to see you. Tell
You
all
too.
you folks hey. And,
all right. I'll do it.
And we'll get you back in here in the next couple of weeks, because we
right.
just got too much to cover. So
Yeah.
maybe toward the end of the month.
Yeah, and
next
maybe
week
I'll
we have
come
a
a little better prepared next time. So
Get your full calendar. Between
Yeah.
the two of us, I think we got it out there. There's
Yeah.
a lot going on at the fair. Mm-hmm. So we are blessed to be in Robertson County.
Yep.
Thank you, brother.
Right.
I'll let y'all make the transition, let Brian make his way in. And while they're doing that, I'm going to talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards, because Barry will be here tomorrow. He'll be coming in with some of the musicians. I think one of the guys will be coming in from Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival to kind of get you excited about the festival next weekend. It's the 15th and 16th, and we will have the Dan Kelly fiddle competition. And we say fiddle competition on Friday, but that is really just, it's anything bluegrass for the kiddos to come in and compete. And then we'll have the barn dance on Friday night, and then of course the show on Saturday. But we'll tell you all about that. We'll play some bluegrass gospel tomorrow, because it is Faith Friday, but it's going to be a fun day to talk about Kilgore. And Barry will be here to talk about real estate as well, because when it comes to anything in the real estate community, he and Rebecca, they are so well heeled to just help you in every way. And I really want to emphasize the fact, if you want to be a realtor, some of these kids that are graduating, they want to go into real estate. And if you want somebody to mentor you into the real estate community, Barry and Rebecca, they are the perfect ones to do it because they did it themselves. They came out of different careers and saw what they wanted to do. Rebecca says that when she decided, she was in radiology. Then she, had her kids at home. And then when they got to school, she's like, okay, I'm going to go back to the workforce. How am I going to do this? And she really wanted to go into real estate. And so she researched which company is going to really help me navigate those waters and get to where I want to be. And it was Exit. So she decided to go with Exit. The Garden Gate team originally, now they are Exit Prime Realty. When Barry went full-time with real estate, they took his brokerage office here in Springfield along with her agency office, and they bring you Exit Prime Realty and so much more involved in that. But super excited to share them with you. And if you want to be a realtor, high school kids, if you're thinking about that, go and talk to them, and you can talk to them at the festival. They'll have the tent set up. If you're somebody that's wanting to sell property and want to know what your property is worth, free market analysis, they can do it right there. Or if you want to get pre-qualified, they're going to help you find the ways to get pre-qualified so you know exactly how much home you can afford. Our other full-time sponsor, Valor Mortgage, that's one that they would point you to. But we'll talk about more about them in just a minute. But Barry and Rebecca, buying, selling, if you want to be a realtor, the whole thing. They're here in Cross Plains for 30 years. So they specialize in Robertson County properties, but they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. Like myself, they're from Kentucky. Reach out to them today. Go to sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, B-U-Y, robertsoncounty.com, or give them a call, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425, or 7424, and let them know U-Turn sent you.
Good morning.
Brian, it's been
How are
forever.
you? I know.
I'm
It's
telling you.
been a little bit. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Good.
How are things in your world?
We're
You're
good.
into school, ready
Into
for
school and all that fun stuff that goes with it. So getting wrapped up and getting all the summer stuff in place. And it's funny enough, we got our first big Stuff the Bus email from this is when we start praying. It's always so funny to me because it's like, as a dad, I'm wrapping up over here in my United Way hat. We are gearing up over here because it takes a couple of months to get all this in place. So
I'm already gearing up for next year. I mean, I'm already prepping my kids to get their stuff. We're going to have a talent show as soon as we get back. We do 2 talent shows.
Nice.
And we started that this year, and it was just we loved it. It was just so exciting to see the kids out there. We had a lot of kids that had talent we had no idea they could do, and we've been so excited to learn. So we'll have a fall talent show, and the tryouts will be just as soon as we get back.
Nice.
And so
Hit the ground running.
We're hitting the ground running, and I've got I recorded my last newscast with my seniors yesterday, 6 of them in their caps and gowns, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
Because they're just so excited.
They're very excited.
So we got them recorded for the last newscast that will air tomorrow. And so the newscast on Monday is going to be the new news team.
Yeah.
So they're going to get a few newscasts in. They'll get they'll get 3 next week, and then they'll do the big semester recap. So you'll get a look at the new WGHS news team.
And you're completing, is this year 2? You're
This is
finished?
the end of my 4th year.
4th. Good gracious.
I
The time
know.
flies.
Isn't that crazy?
Seems like you just started doing that. So you've done this 4 years now.
Well, and
you're
this-
a seasoned veteran at this point as a
I
teacher.
don't know about that.
Yeah.
'Cause the curriculum for what I do is constantly changing. It has to because
Right.
the industry is changing.
Right.
And so you better stay up on it or it will leave you in its dust.
Right.
And so I just have to constantly be developing it, and studying it all the time. And I love it because it's very interesting to me, but it's, so I don't think I would ever call myself a seasoned veteran, but it's
4 years, you've done some time in the trenches now. So 4 years is pretty good.
In this senior class, they were freshmen when I
Right. So this is
started.
your first. Is it bittersweet? Like, I mean,
it kills me every
yeah,
year.
I would think so.
I mean,
yeah.
these kids, you get so close with them.
Right.
And I've started this habit, for my kids that I had prior to last year, forgive me that I didn't do something for you as you headed out, because I didn't know what to do. But I wanted to write them a note or something, and I just wasn't organized enough to get it done. But last year, my first homeroom graduated. Those kids I'd had every day for all those years. I had to do something. So I just really, really thought about it. And so I put together this letter, and then I also write them a personal note and just give them a little token, but something, because I want them to know that they matter to me.
Right.
Because,
Sure, yeah.
Man, these kids, that's the hardest thing about teaching. I'll cry thinking about it. But because you get close to them.
You do, yeah. Well, that means you care,
Yeah.
and they're fortunate to have you. They're blessed to have you, and
they're just such good kids.
yeah,
And there's knuckleheads, but you
Yeah.
know what I do? What's so funny, and I just remind myself all the time when I have one that just pushes my buttons.
Mm-hmm.
I think about my middle kid, Jedediah, who pushed everybody's buttons, including mine, because he's the one that went into the military. But that young man, wow! I mean, he has done so well. Served honorably for 4 years. Came out, works at HCA, was the Innovator of the Year last year. Last year or the year before. I mean, just incredible. And got a new baby, married, beautiful wife. I mean, just all my kids do great. But he was the one that just wore us out.
Yeah.
we were like, Lord, just let him, not wrap a car around
Survive.
a tree.
Yeah.
Well, he did wrap a car around a tree
Right.
and walked away from it miraculously. He survived. I mean, so when I have that kid that challenges me, I remember I had one that challenged everybody.
right,
And he
right,
rocked the
and sometimes it
world.
just takes
Done
kids
beautiful.
longer to mature or
Yeah.
grow up, or they need
Yeah.
a little extra love, a little extra seasoning, whatever it is. I've been coaching for a long time.
Yeah.
I will have a kid every year, at least one. Usually it's a couple, but usually for sure one that just same thing. It just wears me out, pushes all my buttons,
Yeah.
just doesn't listen, just all that stuff. But what I've found of doing this now for 20 years is,
Wow.
and not consecutively, but I've since the mid 2000s coach, I probably coached 10, 12 teams, 15 at this point. I don't know.
Yeah.
If I'm patient with them and I keep pouring into them and I don't give up on them, you know what I mean? And just by the end of the year,
Yes.
they typically are some of my favorite kids.
Isn't that
because
great? Yeah, for
because
sure.
they just
Yeah.
needed a little extra.
Yes.
And also, you don't know what they got going on at home. I'm
Yes.
trying to be very aware of that.
Yes.
And even more so today, I get the parent list, and a lot of times you can see it's a grandparent or an uncle or an aunt or something like
Yep.
that. So I know that the home situation
Yep.
may have been rocky for the child to that point. And so, yeah, a little extra patience. And I think that's what God's teaching us during that process is to give them a little grace, give them a little, and have a little patience, because, he does with us. So,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. So it's not easy, but it's so rewarding when you see them start to thrive, like your son or those that you're talking about, you pour into, and then, you kind of see the light bulb start to flicker there a little bit. And it's like, oh, it was worth it.
Well, and like I said, these kids that I saw them their freshman year, and to see them now, oh my goodness, it's just such a blessing. And this is a really good senior class out of Greenbrier this year. We've got just some. I know if I start naming them, I'm going to leave so many out. But there's we're very proud of y'all. And y'all are going to do great things.
Yeah.
But it's very bittersweet because
Yeah.
you don't see them. I mean, there's kids that I was super close to a couple of years ago and haven't seen them since they walked across that field and got that diploma.
Yeah.
Because our paths haven't crossed. So
That's
every
the
now
way
and
it
then in
goes.
Walmart, I hear Miss Vivio.
Right.
And
That's
that just
sweet.
I just love it. So
Yeah.
it's a blessing.
It is.
Well, we'll go down all kinds of
I know,
rabbit
that's
holes
okay.
and not cover
We
all the
haven't caught
United Way stuff. And I'll ask you this.
Yes.
Let me start here.
Uh-huh.
So occasionally I meet a kid
Yes.
that as they're heading out, they're going to have struggles.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll hear stories and they'll share things with me and I get worried about them.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to put together resources for these kids that are being told, you're 18, you're moving out.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have a plan. They don't have a car. They don't have a plan. And I'm like, I dealt with kids like that when I was working at the Benevolent Center up in Madison at the Madison Church of Christ, teens that are homeless because they did not get that. They did not get the skills when they were home, maybe because mom and dad had to work all the time. Maybe it was, like you said, a stress situation or grandparents trying to raise them, but they didn't get that instruction that they needed to understand really how to put life together.
Right.
And so I'm looking at kids sometimes coming out and I'm thinking, I don't know what they're going to do. Are there any resources for kids like that?
There are, and I'm not. Unfortunately, the better opportunity they had to receive assistance the way the current system is set up of support with grant funding and all the programs that are in place. Typically, it's going to be you're going to have a better chance of when you're still in school or you're still a kid. Like that's the way it's set up.
Once you turn 18.
Yeah, they kind of cut you loose into the wild a little bit, and a lot of those resources dry up, unfortunately. But there are resources. Big Cumberland is a great resource here locally that helps people like in those situations.
Mid Cumberland,
Community Action, and so they're around everywhere. But we have a strong presence here in Robertson County as well. As far as the job stuff, again. That's why in your position, I would be preaching that earlier to start some of these programs, because there are some ramp up programs, and I can get you a list of things that are available. But I would encourage anybody, like if you hit 18 and go, okay, what now? Mm-hmm. It's a lot tougher. If you it's 16, you go, okay, I got to get some things figured out. There's a lot more things in place, just the way the funding is to help kids that are in school kind of figure out their path. And thankfully, we have a great school system here. We have a great support network of people that want to help, not just that's their job via the programs they work for, but like also people in business in this community that want to reach back and help kids. And so I think it's just communication is the main thing, is just not let it get to that point. But again, if you see it, and it's heartbreaking, a lot of kids just don't have support at home. Like there's nobody telling them, hey, when you get out of school,
what's the plan?
Or this is all going to come at you at one time, and you got to figure something out. And so if nobody's ever told them that, it's a bad situation for the kids, because I mean, I don't know how it was at 18. I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? I was trying to figure it out as I went. Thankfully, I had a good family, and then I had some people in my life that helped mentor me a little bit and say, kind of guide my path with school and help me get a job and things like that. Just gave me a little bit of ends here and there, and then it kind of eventually you figure out your way. But if you don't have any of that, it's a scary world. You know what I mean? So I can send you a list, so you feel free to share of just resources we have in this community. But honestly, if I'm just being completely honest, it's lacking. Yeah, and it's hard because it's just they just say, all right, figure it out. You know what I mean? And that's the way it has been. And I was having this conversation the other day. Our schools, I think we have a great school system. I love, but also I think we're maybe sending some of these kids out a little ill prepared, because you could be teaching them some of this stuff in high school. And I know they do to an extent, but some basic skill stuff. And you're going to need to do this, and opening in a bank account, like all these things that we need, maybe more of a focus, because a lot of kids aren't going to college or can't afford to go to college. And so they're going to go pretty much when they graduate, and they're going to be in the working world and all that entails. And right now is not probably the friendliest time to ever be released into the world, honestly, with how much everything costs and where our wages are versus cost of living and all these things that we talk about with Alice. I mean,
oh my gosh.
There's a lot of kids that are going to unfortunately graduate high school. It's such a joyous time, and they're going to fall. If they don't have good family support, they're going to fall right into what we're talking about, and that's Alice. And that is, they're going to be working, but they're not going to have enough money to literally pay for what their basic needs. Yeah, and it's again, if I had to fix, we'd fix it yesterday. But like
it's hard to know.
It's hard. So there are resources in place, but not enough, honestly. And then unfortunately, it just adds to the issues that we're already fighting with those Alice numbers. I think the last numbers I saw for Robertson County is where we're looking around 40-some-odd% of this county qualifies as Alice, meaning they work full-time jobs, but they don't have enough money to meet their basic needs.
Well, see, and we have personal finance classes that we do, and they are very, very good and very effective, I think. And they do give them the information, but so many of the kids don't take it seriously. They don't
think it's going to affect, or that's down the road.
It's down the road. They keep pushing it. And maybe even though they know they've been told, 18, you got to move out or something like that. Maybe if you know of teens that have been in a, I'll just make this appeal because maybe we can put this together. If we can put together some testimony type stuff from kiddos that got out of school and found themselves in a homeless situation and had to turn it around. Those kids, our kids need to hear those stories.
Yes.
They need to hear those stories. So if you know some stories like that, if you're a person who had that happen to them, and I can reach out through the Benevolence Center and through, the different programs that I know and see if we can't put that together, because that would be something real effective for the kids to hear.
It would be.
And just to get their attention, just like my homeroom, this right now is freshmen and they're rising sophomores. They'll be sophomores next year. And so I've been telling them all year, if you want to do some of the things like have a associate's degree at the end of your high school, you got to think about it now.
Right.
But this is the kind of stuff too, because some of the things I'm hearing from some of my seniors as they're heading out, I didn't have any idea they were facing. They're just now sharing some things with me, and I'm like, wow, and so I'm just worried about some of them, especially like I said with the economy,
fly. So I mean, just think about like if you get a job, a very entry level job, and it's 20 minutes from your house or whatever, getting to and from just with gas, $4.50 a gallon or whatever it is now. Feeding yourself, finding housing. I mean, you just think about the cost of that. Yeah, like if you don't have any type of support system to help you get you started, which.
And some of them don't.
And a lot of them don't. And so I do think their freshman year, and they seem like, I mean, they're just coming out of junior high at that point. They think graduation is a million miles away, but they blink and it's there. Yep. So, but that is the time you can start getting some of this stuff in place to let them know that the real world this is the real world, and this is what you're going to need to prepare to go in it, and some type of secondary training too. Like have a plan. Like you don't have to be college, but you need to figure out something, because a lot of these like trade schools and stuff like they offer scholarships and their stuff, and you can go, but you need to have something in place to go. I can go get trained there. They're going to get me my CDL while I'm doing that or whatever it is. And then I'm going to be much more desirable in the workforce. Therefore, my wages are going to be higher as I start out. And but I have to have a plan. And again, not the kids' fault, because a lot of times it's just like they're just surviving, literally just trying to get through school, and their home life's terrible. I understand it. But like having a plan in place, if you just get out and you graduate and go, all right, who's going to hire me? You're gonna have a hard road to hoe. Exactly. And that's the same for college graduates.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like I've experienced that firsthand. You got out of college, I thought people were just gonna be like fighting over me to offer me money. My first job was not anywhere near the field I was gonna be. It was a customer service job, answering 100 to 150 inbound calls a day, and I made $22,000 a year. Yeah. So that was my glamorous first job out of college with my really.
I had this degree.
I got this degree. Everybody will want to hire me. It's not the way it works in the world.
Not at all.
They want experience, and you got to get it somehow. And how do you get experience without somebody giving you experience? And it's tough, but you need to have a plan. And it starts early. So I'm thankful you got teachers like you thinking about it, because it is an issue, and it's part of the cycle that we talk about, which people are way more educated than me on this subject can talk about. It is this continuous cycle of Alice that we talk about. Okay,
yeah, for sure.
Their parents were in this situation or worse. They may have been below the poverty line even. Then their child comes through, and then they're in the same situation and either below the poverty line or they're working full time, and they're Alice, and then they have kids young, and then we just continue this Ferris wheel, and it's sad, but it's I mean, it's a lot of it's lack of education on the front end, and not having something in place. Again, I'm so happy this discourse lately has happened with trade schools. It's like, you don't have to go to college. When I was growing up, it was like, you got to go to college. Like, that's the only way you're going to succeed in this life. Now it's like, go learn to do something. Yeah. If you don't want to go to college, that's fine. Go learn to be a plumber. Go learn to work HVAC. Go learn to be a lineman. Like, there's all kinds of things you can do that will make a good, and we need you. We need you. Good ones, and you're going to make good money doing it if you get trained and you get in with the right people and you work. Like, time you're 22, 23 years old, you're going to be doing pretty good. But you got to get that training on the front end.
And AI is not going to replace the linemen and the welders and all these things, but they will replace the computer programmers and those
at some point,
And I had a kid talking about going into computer science. He mentioned he's one of my freshmen, and I said, "What do you want to do?" He goes, he wanted to go into computer science. And I said, "Research it," because my boys that are in that world. That they're like, no.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
You got to look at the things. Now, if you can learn to be the person who is the specialist when it comes to AI, then that's good. But there's a lot of jobs. There are jobs that are going to be replaced that already have been.
100%.
You just got to realistically look at that, because it's not going to change. It's just like my friend Phil Valentine used to always say, the wagon wheel got put out of business too. Yeah. When cars came along. Right. I got to do a break, and and if we have to go a little over to cover what you need to cover,
you're fine. We've going to the Strobel Awards this morning, so I need to jet out right on time. It's our volunteer. We honor volunteers, and so
wonderful.
So I'm good. It's a breakfast. I've been the last few years. It's great. You hear some very you leave thinking, I need to do something more in my life.
Yeah, it's like
these people are
these volunteers.
These are world changers. Yeah, they are.
Well, let me do my break, and
Yes.
then we'll come back. And if anything you need
I
to
got a couple
cover,
things.
we'll go. But we're going to talk about Valor Mortgage. And, I keep quoting what you told me about Chris helping you out with that refinance. And that's the thing, guys. When you think about a mortgage company, it's not just to go and buy your house. It could be to refinance your house, or it could be maybe to finance the property that you're wanting to get for a rental property. So what Chris will tell you is that whether it be your first home purchase, or this is something you're trying to go to an upgrade or a refi like you guys did, or if you're wanting just investment, they can help you out. And you told me it was just effortless.
It was the easiest process I could imagine, and I dreaded doing it. I knew we needed to do it because we got a good rate historically when we bought our home, but I knew we could have probably got a better one because it just does this. So we caught it on the down, and I was like, all right, now's the time. And it was just happened to be right before COVID. We didn't know COVID was coming at the time.
Yeah.
It was so smooth, easy, electronic digital signing. Show up and do the signing at the title company. May have taken grand total 2 hours of my time, and that includes the closing. I'm talking about just that I met with Chris for 30 minutes. He sent all the stuff, took 10 minutes to fill out, and then the closing, and it was as smooth as it could be. And it dropped, I think, from my loan, it dropped 2 points for me, which was
incredible.
huge.
That's huge
significant
savings.
savings. Chris made it super simple, great to work with. Everything was done professionally, wrapped up in a short amount of time too, from beginning to end, very short amount of time. So I'm not in the market right now, so I don't know. I know home rates are a little up, but as you watch them, and depending on what you financed at, or if you're trying to get a new home, couldn't recommend him enough. Good guy in the community too. He helps out. So
he's just everywhere, and it's just so what he just said. And this is one of the things where, like what Brian said, you're not going to be a number. You call those 1-800 numbers for mortgage, you're just a number. They're not. You are just a number. Literally, you're not that when you work with Valor.
His office is right off the square. He's right here. He's Robertson County. He's in the community. If you're out and about, you'll see him. He's right here working alongside us.
What a good job he did
it.
there. From VA loans to VHA options, conventional jumbo financing, they have the tools to get you to the closing table. Not just in the business of mortgages, they're in the business of making home ownership possible. And if you want to know more, 615-671-9178, 615-671-9178, or go to valor.mortgage to get pre-approved today, because when it matters most, you deserve a lender you can trust. Buy with confidence, buy with Valor. Valor Mortgage, NMLS number 1210804, DBA of Encore Lending Group, NMLS 1249911, equal housing lender, subject to credit approval, rates and terms subject to change without notice, not a commitment to lend. Let them know you turning Brian sent you. Yeah, I've got that rattling out, boy.
You've come a long way in a few weeks.
I don't have it memorized yet, but I'm getting there. But we appreciate you, Chris, so much.
Yes.
But anyway, so before we
Just
wrap it up, what
couple
all
of
you
things.
got?
Yeah, I
Okay.
want to give a shout out to our Vita team. They are officially wrapped up, I believe, and they ended up doing 11,011 tax returns this year, and they will have a few hundred additional complete in the coming weeks with some of the extension stuff that happened due to the winter storms. But that was their goal. They hit their goal. Just an amazing group of volunteers and a group of people that work in that sector that are helping people save real money that goes right back in their community, and it's completely free. And so if you paid this year to get your taxes done, or you weren't happy with the way your taxes return went, or you feel like you paid too much, there's a free service out here next year. So be on lookout. We'll have hopefully a dedicated site next year. If not, we'll definitely do pop-up sites. So we'll have in person here in Robertson County, and then the virtual option's always open. But these people love to do taxes and serve you. So just big shout out to them, what they did for our community.
Outstanding.
Yep.
I love it. And, we got an extension on our taxes. If you didn't get yours done, I think it's till June.
Yeah, because of the storms.
Because of the storms and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and FEMA is in town. Let's not forget.
Help me with this. I saw it. Okay.
They're at the New Chapel Church. Gina was in here talking about that. And so she said, they're going to be down there through the weekend. You definitely need to get out and talk to them. If you had any kind of storm damage, they're also going to have a small business administration person out there that can talk to you about losses with your business. But Blake Pierce was in yesterday. And so definitely go out there and talk to them. They're going to be here through Saturday, I think.
Okay.
So, and 211 is the number to call for
Yes.
all these resources we talk about. I was looking through just some of the questions. If you have any questions about things going in the community, 211 will lead you there. Just a great resource number
211.
through the United Way. And then Shelby Horner wants to know, what about old guys, not high school guys that want to get into real estate? Well, of course, you can call Barry and Rebecca too, or just Google them, and they'll help all of you get into real estate. if
Great,
that's what you
great
wanna
partial
do.
retirement gig. If you like being
Yeah.
around people and you know people, it's awesome. I know a lot of people have done that and
Yeah,
done very
I
well
do
in
too.
it. Yeah.
My retirement job is teaching. So, anyway.
You took on the hardest job there is as your retirement job. That's
Being I have spent my entire career in broadcasting.
yeah.
Trust me, I have more time off and I have more fun than I've ever had.
Well,
'Cause
good for
I
you.
don't-
You that means
I-
you're
I just-
natural to it. But
there's a stress level
Yeah.
when you're in the broadcast industry that you were. In
I worked with a lot of those folks. Yeah.
You
It's
just
it's a hustle gig,
it's
man.
a hustle,
Yeah.
and you just feel like somebody's going to try to get you gig every time you turn around.
that's right.
It's just
Scared to take a vacation.
seriously,
Literally, I know in radio.
I literally only took 2 weeks off every time I had a child.
Yeah. I had
Okay, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I knew if I were out any longer,
my play-by-play guys would tell me that.
LaVern.
Yep, they would miss if they were sick or anything. My play-by-play guys, they were like, if I don't show up, somebody else is going to do it, and then
Better
that's going to be
believe
your
it.
new person. So they would
Better
always
believe
do
it. Yeah, you don't miss. All right, guys. But anyway,
Yeah.
thanks for joining us tomorrow. It's so good to see you.
Good
Can
to
you
see
be
you.
here next week?
I will not. I've got
Okay.
I've got something next Thursday
that's
morning,
okay.
but be in the week after.
Well,
Yeah.
we've got some
Well,
folks,
yeah.
wanting some time slots, so we'll get them
There
in
you go.
here. But I do appreciate seeing you, and I'll
Good
see
seeing
you
you.
on other as we're getting ready for summer break.
No, summertime.
Yay! I can't
Summer
wait.
fun.
And thank you guys for joining us. Tomorrow is Faith Friday, but we're bringing in Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival. We'll play some gospel music for you and get some Jesus on you as we try to every day. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Trent, for being here. And thank y'all for being here. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless you. Have a great day.